Hey guys. Hello. Hey guys, I am back, and this is probably gonna be the last video for this month. No, this will be a second last. I have another video on 29th, Dark Hour, and then because again I got only 20 hours to work with. I don't know how long the stream with Dark Hour is gonna last, so I need to have some time in reserve for that, but let's do this. Ugh. Let's go.
Okay, I need you to imagine you're with a guy and he's constantly stopping and posing and pouting. Imagine that process. Imagine that process on a day out with him as he's taking multiple photos of himself until he gets the right one. No, you need to, and you just have to wait for the smoldering and the flexing.
I will kind of defend that because that is kind of cringy, but that is something you get told to do in pictures. At least I knew a professional photographer, and that's what they told me to do. I think that's what you do. It just looks kind of cringy because he may not have any normal photos, you know? You get the sense that this is how he acts. You know, it is because of all the previous shit, but you know what I mean. If you didn't know him.
Stop. Oh my god. My life just flashed before my eyes.
He does have some big titty meat though.
Like, that's it. I'm sorry. Like, never touch me again. I can't look at you the same way. You were pouting and trying to look sexy with KFC, Justin.
I won't.
You were pouting and trying to look sexy with KFC.
I will not defend this. You cannot look sexy with KFC. You gotta have some more fancy food. Don't know what the fuck he doing though. Why are you putting ketchup on the individual, like, nugget or whatever? That's a huge waste of food, and you're gonna spill it everywhere if you're not careful. And you're not even fucking looking.
Justin, we'd have to part ways, I think, with immediate effect. How is this masculine? How is it
masculine? Again, it's something you get told, I think.
How is this manly? How is this rugged and manly? Oh my god.
Unless he just thought this was cool. But at least I was told this is how you're supposed to look for professional photos. I don't know.
It's not, is the answer. It's just fully not. It's vanity. It's really vain. It's not manly at all. This is the other funny thing. All the comments that I saw anyway when I was looking at Justin Waller's pictures, and I'll go over this in the Poodle Men video because it's really funny. This just appeals to men. Like, almost all the comments are like men been like, you go Justin, beast. Yeah, and like fire emojis, like other men like hyping him up, which is fine. Yeah, that's really sweet. That's great that men have a space to do that. But I'm just saying, which is fine. There's not a problem with that. However, if you are trying to appeal to women, you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying, if you are trying to be sexually...
Yes. Women definitely want to see the more personal side of you, the more, at least normal women, not the women he's talking to. Normal women want to, see normal pictures, you with a dog or kids or your cousins or whatever, That's what women want to see. Women don't want to see this perfect photo, over edited, everything is perfect, It's like, do you know any people? What are you about? You can't really, it's very vain, and it comes in through the photos.
You're attractive to women. That is not, no thank you.
He still doesn't look good in skinny jeans.
See, a lot of men probably won't understand me saying that Justin Waller is borderline repulsive. That sounds mean. Let me explain. Women, I know you get it.
I wouldn't say borderline repulsive. I think he's very much repulsive. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what borderline repulsive means. So, and you might be thinking, oh, Jacob, it means he's on the edge. So what did that mean? Is he not repulsive? Is he repulsive? I'll be right back. Okay, back to my rant. So, borderline offensive, repulsive, I mean. Borderline repulsive. So, my nitpick is that, so borderline repulsive, so it's almost repulsive. So, it's not repulsive, but since it's borderline, does it make it repulsive? But since you think is repulsive, it makes it repulsive. It's a little bit confusing because it had to be kind of one or the other. It had to be one or the other, you know. But but that's a nitpick. You know what you know what she means when she says it. It just if you get into the wording, it doesn't really make any sense, and I guess you get to choose your type of autism.
I know the girls will get it, and the men won't get it because of it, but he's really like attractive and he's really like buff and he's all of these things. Wow, of course women will love him, and I think that's why he has a huge male following, because you look at that and go, wow, the women will love that. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of it is, oh, he's, he has money, he's successful, he's good looking, he's always wearing nice clothes. You assume he knows what he's talking about, You
are wrong. I mean, obviously there is some women who will go for that. Probably. Oh, do I have to say something mean about people in Miami again?
Well, there's gonna. Of course, you don't even have to. I mean, if Justin Waller. I mean, if you want to date him just because he has money, and I don't think he's stupid enough to. I think he's smart enough to realize that's what people do. So if you want to date him just for the money, hey, that's your thing. I don't think he can be manipulated in that type of way. So I think you're good on the moral front there. But if you're shallow and you just like the looks, that's you do what you want, I suppose. I'm not gonna judge you for that kind of stuff.
Like there are clearly some girls who are going for that. A lot of women are going to be repulsed by that.
Oh.
And it's not because Justin Waller is physically repulsive. Okay, like objectively, he's not a bad looking guy, and he could be attractive. Like he's got the potential, obviously. Like he could be attractive. I know I've been mean about the ginger thing, so it's fine. I've got red in my hair. There are lots of attractive gingers. Okay, I'll stand by that. I'm team ginger. I was mean about them earlier, but he's not a bad looking guy. He should be attractive, but he's just not. Like it's the energy.
Speaking of gingers,
Stand by that. I'm Team Ginger.
I'm definitely Team Ginger too. But that one lady from maybe it was the lighting or something. That one lady from Daredevil. She also played Faye in God of War Ragnarok. It's something about ginger people tend to be more white, something about the way that her in her eyes with the red, she always looked like she was about to cry, and like it just, even in the video game, it doesn't quite look right. She's not very attractive to me. Other people think she's attractive, but the always crying look, it doesn't look attractive. Maybe that's just me. Let me know. I know that I'm not that attractive, even though I did get hit on in a live stream once. That was a couple months, like 4 or 5 months ago, but it was nice.
Yeah. I was meaning about them earlier, but he's not a bad looking guy. He should be attractive, but he's just not. Like it's the energy, it's the pouting, it's all the flashy, weird performancey stuff. It's like it just oozes sleaze. It oozes sleaze, and it's not just not attractive to women. It's actively repulsive. It's actively off-putting. At least like it's just really horrible and repellent. In my opinion, I find it probably a lot of women. Some women might disagree, but I'm just saying there's a big part of women that are gonna look at that and go, "Oh."
You look at it and you don't. Yeah, I agree. There's none of him in. There's no candid photos. It's always staged. Candid photos will endear you better.
It's just a bit sleazy. It makes my skin crawl a little bit. Please stay away from me. So I just thought you might want to hear that perspective. I'm sorry, that was really mean, but I can't with the poodle men. I cannot with the poodle men. You need to stop. Someone needs to rein you guys in.
Highlander is a good movie. You should watch it, by the way. I don't know if I said that or not. Also, Ben Still is a great actor. I love him.
Can you guys please show some originality, imagination, and just, frankly, good taste? Okay? It's tacky, Justin. It's tacky. You're tacky. You're tacky. The graphic is tacky. You're tacky. The photos are tacky. It's tacky.
A gentleman's guide to become an abundant man. And kind of tacky. The random guns in the photo. Do men need guns to become abundant? You don't need money to be a good man.
I cannot believe you are a real person, Justin. You seem like a parody. David Brent could never.
Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're not a formidable force,
you seem like a parody. David Brent could never.
Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control.
If you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your control. I mean, I'd like to develop that more. I mean, formidable force and morality don't exactly go together. I mean, morals are subjective, I guess. So, I guess, yeah, I could agree. I could agree with that. I guess being formidable in the wrong ways is good, but that would be morality. Your morality system if you chose to employ your overwhelming force in that sort of way, so it works. It just, I'd like more context around that sentence.
There's a very convenient narrative at the moment that anyone who calls out men like Andrew Tate or Justin Waller just hate masculinity, okay? Or have...
I know. I just saw a thing recently. Apparently, if you don't call them out, like Sneeko, you get
like a vendetta, convenient narrative at the moment that anyone who calls out men like Andrew Tate or Justin Waller just hate masculinity.
Okay. Apparently, Sneeko has been defending Tate this whole time, and apparently he's not even protected by Andrew Tate because he slags off Sneeko. Even if you were on Tate's side, you're not safe. That's why you don't associate with those kind of people, man. He's a pedophile. Well, that one's actually alleged. I make a joke. Oh, I make the joke, but that one's actually alleged. I think the Vosh one isn't.
Okay, or have like a vendetta or a resentment or viciousness against men, which of course was a narrative started by the Tates to deflect attention away from the very serious legal problems they currently find themselves in. It's an easy way to dismiss all criticisms without actually addressing it. I want to make it very clear that a lot of people calling
I want to get into something here. I'm more curious about the Now, in some of his videos, older videos, you see their cousins and stuff. I think they have their own money. Did they get, because they were associated with them, but not that closely, are they excluded from all the controversy? I don't know exactly what they were doing, but if they were doing anything close to what the, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate were, they definitely should have more of a light shine on them. But which I don't see if they did, or not really anyone talks about them.
These guys out, myself included, aren't doing so because we want men to be downtrodden and hate masculinity, and we don't want men to feel powerful. It's because this isn't what healthy, secure masculinity looks like. This is a mockery of it.
It's really not.
Like I've said before, it's peacocking, okay? It's peacocking. It's a performance.
Yeah, definitely. He's trying to it's a character to try and hide that he doesn't have any real personality outside of awfulness,
Is just a rebranding of destructive behaviors as masculinity, which not only harms the people having to deal with this childish behavior, but also, by the way, it harms society's image of men. You are doing the opposite of what you claim. You are not bringing positive masculinity back. You are creating one of the biggest PR disasters I've seen in a very long time. And believe it or not, I'm actually worried that it's all going to blow up and make everything just worse for men. Like, if you keep insisting...
That's what I worry about. The left, not even the left. I'm definitely not right, but there are bad people on both sides. But the left had definitely been center of attention lately. But I'm trying to, be neutral. Well, be more... try to see every side. But you gotta be honest. The left has... I'm surprised they don't grab on this stuff more, Maybe it's such it poisonous root,
Thing that this is your essential nature as men.
Not the big thing anymore. That's what I
mean. And how you should behave and how you're wired to behave and therefore allowed to behave. You will only make the crisis and rejection and hatred and sometimes self-hatred of masculinity worse.
Well, and you're hurting actual people. Like he hurts actively some of the women that are in the videos with him. Like that one lady that he was trying to convince that the man she was with was cheating on her.
Will distance themselves from masculinity
if they don't convince her it was okay.
Want to be associated with or seem to be
when she didn't even know if it was happening.
supporting harmful, undisciplined, selfish, or even illegal behavior. But to make matters worse, little boys like Waller see an example of mature masculine behavior and call it weakness.
There are times where I feel like he's a bit hypocritical.
Because he used to be atheist and now
no issue with that, really. It's really more to me about he's running around telling young men to be strong and all this other shit.
It's the meanest, toughest male that rules.
And then the first thing he does is go start popping pills and doesn't face it.
Prescribed an anti-anxiety medication.
And he also
Well, you're not allowed to have anxiety, and the only way to deal with it is to take pills. You know, you can't solve everything on your own, you know? Sometimes you need help. But, and also, on the flip side, you know, you can't, no man is an island, you know? And sometimes you just need help. Popping pills, listen, we live in the modern world. And we have solutions for certain things, you know? And it doesn't make you weak to want to, you know, look for help. Wish I had an ad, but I don't. I kind of need the money. Enough about me. But, you know, that's not hypocritical to talk about being strong and try and look for a better way to become stronger than you are. You know, that's a tool to help to become stronger. You know, it's not always about, you know, oh, I have to be strong, I have to do this on my own. You can accept help.
also talks about being capable. I don't find him to be overly capable. I know he's an older man. I don't mean no disrespect to him. He's very well accomplished. He's accomplished
He's definitely capable. He's done very well for himself.
a lot, but in those regards, I found him to be a bit hypocritical.
This is the Google Pixel 9, and this is what trash talk used to look like before you could ask Gemini to make an image of wide receiver gloves made out of butter.
Only used to do one.
Their guys have been dropping stuff all day.
Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
It's the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
That's right.
$1.99 a month for 3 months of Disney Plus.
That's a great idea.
Get the hottest shows.
Great. You can say that again.
Biggest movies.
Ready? Hit it.
And most.
I'm wondering what that was.
Wow,
doing.
yeah, Jordan Peterson. What a
I just noticed this about my computer. Okay.
loser. He's not who young men should be listening to. No, I mean, I know he's helped God knows how many young men.
How old is Jordan Peterson? I will be right back.
Men and men in general find purpose in their lives, prevented I don't know how many men from unaliving themselves, inspired men to heal their relationships with their fathers and find value in themselves and what they do.
I agree with all this.
I know personally, by the way, of so many men he's helped. But yeah, no, that's no.
I mean, you see videos of people just coming up to him to talk to him as he's doing his everyday stuff, and more than happy to talk to them.
Should be listening to Justin Ward.
Anyway, age. Jordan Peterson. 62. Jeez. Tammy Roberts. She wasn't married, I guess. Oh, died in 89 of renal cancer. Anyway, continue. That's sad.
Paula, yeah, who pouts in tight jeans on Instagram, takes videos in sports cars smoking cigars, and tells you to have children with multiple women. Oh, the depth. Oh, wow, the depth to, like, his message. Just, like, what childish...
Unlike the depth he get to most women.
View of masculinity. A lot of red pill guys will say that women will leave you if you show weakness in front of them, and they'll lose respect for you, and blah blah blah. All this, like Fresh and Fit going.
Guys, if you show weakness in front of a woman and she get turned off by that, leave her immediately. She doesn't respect you for who you are. You know, if you can't show weakness in front of the person you love, they're not a person you're going to be with.
Going on about like never cry in front of your girl, never show her weakness. She will leave you. She will lose respect for you. Waller has made the mistake that a lot of incredibly emotionally immature people make, where they think that any display of vulnerability, emotion, or honesty about your failings is a weakness. You don't have to be like that in order to be masculine. And by the way, for an emotionally intelligent woman, it is unconvincing, because she will know that you do have vulnerabilities or failings, like everyone does, but you're just too cowardly to admit to them or share them with her. And that reads as insecurity and weakness, or that you're lying to yourself and not being honest about, you know.
I mean, yeah, I've definitely shown weakness in front of my girlfriend. You know, that has happened. And from my other girlfriends, too. Yeah, I've dated in the past.
Yeah, I mean, going too far the other way can also backfire on you. Not every show of vulnerability is weakness. Are you an 8-year-old boy? The answer to that, of course, is yes. It's also, I think, extremely unfair and arrogant, this assessment of Peterson. Just a reminder for the class, for Justin Waller, do we remember how he came to prominence? Can we remember that? He stood up in favour of free speech. I know a lot of people say it was an anti-trans thing, but it's always been a free speech issue. It was about compelled speech. That was his motivation for what he did.
The idea was that I remember the argument. The argument was that trans people, you know, you have to call them by the gender that they claim to be. And his argument was, I don't have to. That's compelled speech. You're compelling me to do something. You know, I don't. It would never like he doesn't want to do it because he didn't respect them. Although I don't respect is earned, not gained. You know, that kind of thing. But it was always very much I have to be willing to do these things. You can't make me do them.
Because there's never been compelled speech laws before. He stood up in favour of free speech against immense social and professional pressure against the Canadian government.
Yeah, he got in trouble with Canada and needed to go to a re-education thing or something like that.
Risked his career, dealt with an amount of backlash I can't even imagine, was called everything under the sun, and refused to be swayed because his principles were that strong. And though I have
had to.
My criticisms of him and disagreements with him, I'll always respect him for that. Do you have any idea?
I did talk about Jordan Peterson with another psychologist, and he didn't like him very much. Don't remember why, so I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but he didn't like him.
How hard that is, Mr. Waller. You know, that's actually an example of extraordinary strength, by the way, as in beyond ordinary, because most people can't do that.
Yeah, going up against your entire government, that is very strong. Don't know how you I don't know how you can call that not strong. You know, it's Jordan Peterson. I mean, Justin Waller's from America, right? I mean, we kind of went against the government. We were the bad guys in their eyes. You know, we kind of did that a long time ago. You know? Similar. Not kind of.
Tate knockoff, you wouldn't understand the concept of forging your own path, would you? Just nodding and agreeing with everything that Andrew Tate says next to him like a puppy. We know this. We've seen this from both history and countless studies. Most people are unwilling to go against social pressure and popular opinion because it is so hard. And that's an example of weak masculinity, apparently, to you, Justin. He's not as competent as you, is he, Mr. Tight jeans, multiple baby mamas, lacking self-control Waller? I'm just blown away by the arrogance. So Peterson proves that he has courage and is...
I would like to have... Would Justin Waller be willing to have a conversation with Jordan Peterson? I wonder. Has anyone ever asked him that? I will go to YouTube and find out. YouTube. Okay. Apparently it went on Michael Knowles. We may react to that. But he apparently went on Michael Knowles. Mom. Let's see if he talked with her. Calls out. Justin Waller exposing Jordan Peterson for Andrew Tate. Pathetic. I'll try. Debating. No, I don't think they has ever had a conversation. Ooh. The video, the authentic observer video, the cringe alpha male thinks, that video, it's a second result. So, well, third if you count shorts. Okay, let's go.
Is willing to stand on what he believes in. But because Peterson also got hooked on antidepressants, context of that is that he was dealing with an amount of public attention and pressure that hardly anyone in all of history...
It appears that, from a tertiary glance, that no one has asked him to talk with Andrew Tate. No, I mean with Jordan Peterson. Maybe they have. And I didn't look at the videos. I just looked at the titles.
Has ever had. An amount the human mind is not evolved to deal with. And on top of that, he had health issues. And, oh yes, his wife was dying.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not...
Well, he had health issues. But he was on a very weird diet. The all-meat diet that kind of wrecked his body. Other health issues, are not good, of course. But the all-meat diet, it's not the best diet either. I wouldn't do it.
It's not masculine to be sad about that. Then, by the way, he overcame that addiction and is back in the public eye, producing content a short while later. Yeah, all of that is an example of a weak man. Because again, Justin is an 8-year-old boy who thinks admitting to having struggles makes you weak. Sorry, Jordan Peterson didn't fight a crocodile with his bare hands, but life is not a movie. Not everyone can be Steve Irwin. R.I.P. Steve, my childhood hero. Fun fact, as a kid, I saw him at his zoo and it was the best moment of my life. Moving on. Here's the point I'm trying to make here, and I want to make this very clear. Me defending Jordan Peterson here is not me saying that he never messed up or never stumbled or how dare anyone criticize him. There are things to criticize, but I don't think that the things Justin is going at him for are fair, particularly given the state of Justin. What I am saying is that it's a toxic mentality to have that one cannot be an example of strength if you fail.
Yeah, starting to act up.
Guess what? Everyone fails. I don't think this makes Peterson a hypocrite or contradict his message. Like, oh, he says take self-responsibility, yet he also got addicted to drugs. The test of character, I think, comes not from the failure or the vulnerability, but how you deal with the failure and the vulnerability. There is no escaping weakness and failure in life. I think Peterson has proven that he has the courage to stand by his
I just agree with all this. Yeah.
Principles. You could see the antidepressants and him becoming overwhelmed as a failure, but having moments of weakness does not make you weak. He was also open about his struggles, which I think takes a lot of courage.
Although I would disagree with her on this point. Taking antidepressant for depression is a good thing. You know, unless he got addicted to them.
Okay? There can be strength in vulnerability. This is why I think the oversimplification a lot of the manosphere does about not showing weakness and women losing respect for you if you show vulnerability is so stupid. Speaking as a woman, yeah, of course, don't be a pathetic wet lettuce all the time. But here's the nuance, okay? I do not see Jordan Peterson as weak when I see him tearing up in interviews when he's talking about young men. It's such a childish bloody... Like, if a woman sees any expression of a man crying as automatically weak...
And that's very unfortunate. A lot of women do see men crying, men being vulnerable, as weak, and they get turned off to it. I think there is a culture of men need to, just grin and bear it and, don't let it affect you. And that's unrealistic expectation. And it needs to be changed because thankfully my girlfriends have never done that. But I've known other guys with girlfriends that used to, did feel like that or did think that sort of way, and it was awful.
She is either really fucking stupid or just emotionally like a 6-year-old. Sometimes it does mean that he's weak, and sometimes it doesn't, but it's all about the context and the nuance. I don't see him as weak for tearing up in interviews when he's talking about young men. I actually gained more respect for him when I saw that. Why? Because I thought, Jesus Christ, he's really been through hell in the past couple of years. I admire his strength and character, the fact that, yes, he broke under the pressure, but also had the strength to get back up and come out the other side. And my heart is warmed by how deeply he feels compassion for the people he's reaching. I don't agree with him on everything, but I still admire Jordan Peterson. I think he stands by his principles, and I do believe he genuinely wants to help people, even though I'm not thrilled about the Daily Wire team-up. It's arrogant to say he's an incapable hypocrite because at one point he broke under the pressure of all the things he was dealing with, potentially losing his wife, physical pain from health problems, so much public pressure. Implying that you're a better role model because you pinned a comment beneath that video criticizing Peterson for being an incapable hypocrite. You pinned a comment beneath that video saying how we need more masculine role models and selling your alpha male course. So technically it's a link to Andrew Tate's, formerly known as Hustlers University, now known as The Real World. I mean, Justin Waller is clearly highly connected.
You've made the right decision. The Real World is the #1 school in the world.
It's Jay Waller. This is his own website is highly connected to the War Room and The Real World. It's got all sorts of links and shit all for that. Justin Waller seems to have a section where he's got
he's very connected with Andrew Tate. He may be just grifting off him. He probably
promo vid.
I didn't make up a lot of this stuff on his own.
And a section on who he is,
But I'm not
his
totally sure.
like success.
Being around like-minded people and from like-minded mentors. That's redundant. Presumably, like-minded people you are learning from would be mentors, you know? Or vice versa. Teach how to make money through action, not textbook. I mean, you can learn how to learn. You can. I mean, you can learn learn how to make money through action, but I suppose learning as you do it, but you're learning it first. Learning all about it first, probably a really good idea. But a textbook can help. I would never say it can't. But, going online and looking up is just as good too. I don't know what's wrong with the textbook. Why are we against textbooks? Get our students making money as quickly as possible. I like that. That's good. All right. That's good.
It's Jay Waller. This is his.
Since I'm making more money than ever tying the pen.
His own website is highly connected to the war.
Time for you to get serious. Okay, I like it.
The real world. It's got all sorts of links and shit. So all for that.
I can teach you just generic.
Justin Waller seems to have a section where he's got a little promo vid and a section on who he is, his like success. So it's still clearly him presenting himself as an alpha.
What do I? Okay, just
teacher, amazing masculine.
I just have I just have a few. I don't know how well this stuff works. I just have a problem with some of the wording.
Model, and he's clearly one of these teachers on Andrew Tate's scammy website.
Yeah, it's probably very scammy. I mean,
the other thing that really irritates me.
I grew up. If he had to learn through struggle, why is he so arrogant and such an awful person now? Maybe
me about this. Yeah, see, here we go. So he's really highly connected with the War Room and Andrew Tate, who is an admitted scammer. He's admitted on camera to scamming men. Also, I just want to point out the thing that really winds me up about this. So this link, this website. So this is Jay Waller, The Gentleman's Guide to Becoming an Abundant Man. This is the thing that will never cease to irritate me about Justin Waller, his presentation of...
He did the same thing
himself. He clearly thinks he's some kind of, like I said at the beginning, like really suave gentleman. He is, in no sense of the word, a gentleman. The furthest thing from
I just agree with all this.
Being gentlemanly or having any kind of, I don't know, worthy of respect. Can we say that? So yeah, and it's just absolutely laughable and ridiculous that this is the man promoting himself, pins, beneath a video of him shitting all over Jordan Peterson. So wow, really gentlemanly behavior here, really classy, Justin. In the interest of trying to be as fair as possible, this is from Jay Waller Clips channel, which it says.
Wow, doesn't really. I mean, it is a clip channel. The official channel probably might have more views, but this is just a side. But this one doesn't. This is a mid-range subscribers, and he has a lot of videos.
Says is the official.
Have more. Maybe more people are better at discerning.
Clips channel of Justin Waller, and seems to have a lot of subscribers.
You're right. Well, when the right time to have children, when you're financially viable to have children. I mean, that's sad.
Oh, the views are very low. So technically, I don't know if this is.
Oh, this isn't his channel. Oh, Oh, this is his official clip channel. I didn't look at this. I'm stupid.
It's got a link to his official YouTube channel on here, but I don't know if this is run by him. If it's not, congratulations, Justin. You're slightly less tacky, only slightly. So yeah,
he probably doesn't. To be honest, he probably has a team of people running all this shit. He probably doesn't even look at it.
The interest of trying to be as fair as possible. He might not have done that. How big of an ego do you need to have to think that you're having a better impact on men than Jordan Peterson when you've admitted many times that you don't even have the self-control to keep it in your pants? And also, by the way, psychologically torment your girlfriends. Hey, Justin, when you're his age and you're dealing with worldwide pressure from your own industry, the entire Western media, and the Canadian government, and at the same time you have severe health problems and also the love of your life is dying, when that happens and you don't have some moments of vulnerability, then you can get online and talk about how you're a stronger man than Jordan Peterson and real men are always stoic and sell your shit.
I wouldn't even, maybe he's a strong man in the colloquial sense that, he's had to deal with a lot of shit, but I can give him that, but it clearly didn't change him. It clearly didn't have a good effect on him, so even if he did go through all that shit they said he went through in his page, it didn't affect him in any meaningful way. Well, any meaningful way that I care about. Obviously he cares about stuff he says, but it didn't have an effect on him. So Jordan Peterson's way is just better anyway.
Shitty knockoff alpha course.
Subjective.
Course. You are one trashy motherfucker. And look, I understand that most men don't necessarily process or express emotions in the same way that women do. And I'm not saying they should have to, okay? And I'm not saying it's necessarily even bad to give advice like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll come into the kitchen. Probably I say like they have no stove, no microwave or something.
We could, get some of that stuff though, because we are saving money on the rent.
How am I gonna open this screen? Because imagine the stove gonna be here.
Well, maybe we get like a portable stove.
Okay. Oh, didn't turn any of the stuff off. Okay. Okay, let's go.
Okay, man up in like certain contexts, but like this other extreme and pressure to be perfect amid a men's mental health crisis where they're feeling worthless and self-deleting in record numbers just seems like a terrible alternative to put on men. Like, yes, as I said, it can be a healthy message to tell men to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and sometimes saying man up is appropriate.
Sometimes you need help.
Sometimes it is appropriate to say that. And yes, being a weepy, incompetent mess isn't going to be attractive to women. But also, chill. Don't get ridiculous with it. There's breathing room here, okay? No one is demanding perfection, and you need space to be vulnerable occasionally. And if your girlfriend leaves you because you were vulnerable in front of her one time, like how the red pillars say will happen, she's probably a terrible person and she does not care about you. And
I totally agree with all this.
And you're better off without her. If you're really, really weak and incapable of doing anything, then yeah, you probably need to work on that. But if you're like cry in front of her one time or are vulnerable and she leaves you, she doesn't care about you because people don't do that to people they care about. And that's not women. That's the women that's the most evil version of women, most extreme, unforgiving version of women that the red pillars can come up with. Though that's the worst example of a woman. Like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't be trying to attract that into your life. I'm just really hoping that this manosphere fad is getting old for most people now. I think it probably is. Like, it's just little boys in their fast cars with their crypto and their Instagram girlfriends thinking they're the height of evolved masculinity. It's a cheap performance, and they are unable to recognize real strength or value because they have none. And I'm not saying that means that you can't enjoy having money or a fast car or like a hot girlfriend or like that's fine. I'm just saying, it's when you place all your value and worth on that and say that this is my symbol of masculinity, that's when it's bad. That's when it's shallow. Just like for women, it's not bad to want to, here's the parallel. It's not bad for women to want to look beautiful or to want to look, buy beautiful clothes or to look gorgeous or to enjoy being attractive. That's all fine. But if you place all your value on that and think, and this is what is valuable about me, and this is what means the most about me is my beauty, then that's bad. And you go, this is my femininity. This is who I am as a person. This is my value.
If your personality if your only personality trait is how you look, it's not valuable. People won't be attracted to that. Basically.
And worth in the world is all this work I've had done and all the makeup and how hot I look. Then that's bad. So you see, it's the things in themselves aren't bad. It's the value you put on them. So my opinion on Waller versus Peterson is simple. One is style and one is substance. When I say style, I don't mean actual style. I just mean style as in style of the substance, because there's nothing stylish about Justin Waller. One is a boy playing at being manly and cool, and the other is a grown man with responsibilities and integrity. One of them
yes, I agree.
Can't dress himself, and the other looks damned handsome in a snappy suit. That's all for now.
Wait, I've seen the suit come down.
One of them can't dress himself, and the other looks damned handsome in a snappy.
This is this Heaven and Hell suit. Actually, I kind of like it. Ooh, see, I don't think he's wearing socks for this one. Listen, as I said before, I would rather wear boots. But if you're gonna have the short things like this, you gotta have socks. It looks better with these shoes. But this is a Heaven and Hell suit. On this side is like flames, and the other side is like heaven stuff. But it's really cool. He shows it off on a Joe Rogan podcast. It's a really cool suit. Might be, I think it definitely custom, but it's really cool.
Snappy suit. That's all for
okay.
Now, video on the Poodle Men coming soon. Look after yourself.
Okay, no promotion. Is there any promotion?
I see you rolling up over
no, just the rest of this. Okay, like and subscribe to me and the Authentic Observer. I'll be back with you on the 29th for Dark Hour podcast. Can you believe it? Check me out there. Okay, bye. Well, on their on Two Hoes. That's what it's called. Two Hoes.